We tap our cards for everything, right? The subway, your morning coffee, you name it. But what about for milk? Seems pretty basic. But today, we're going to break down a pretty fascinating system that does exactly that. We're going to see how a simple smart card is totally changing the game for how milk is sold at a university farm, from the moment you sign up to that final purchase.
So, you might be asking, where did we get all this info? Well, it's straight from the horse's mouth. Everything we're talking about today comes directly from the official process document from Synergy Peripheral Services. Think of this as us just translating that formal, kind of dry text into something you can actually see and understand, a step-by-step journey of how this whole smart system works.
Okay, so here's our game plan. First up, we'll get a handle on what this system even is. Then we'll meet the people who make it all happen. After that, we'll walk through the whole process as if we're a customer. Then we'll switch it up and see it from the distributor's side. And to wrap it all up, we're going to peek under the hood and check out the tech that powers the whole shebang. All right, let's dive in. What is this smart milk system, really? Well, our story starts at a pretty cool place where old-school farming meets new tech, the Livestock Research Station of Kamdhenu University in Navsari. This is where they're rolling out a super modern fix for, a transaction that's been around forever, buying milk. Okay, so at its heart, it's what's called a closed-loop payment system. The best way to picture it? Think of your subway card or maybe a gift card for your favorite coffee shop. But this one is just for milk. Members put money on their card, and the distributors have a little handheld gadget to take the payment right then and there. The whole point is to make it smooth, cashless, and to just get rid of fumbling for change every single day.
Look, any system, no matter how smart, is only as good as the people running it. And for this one to work, there are 3 absolutely essential roles. You could say they're the key players making sure the whole operation doesn't miss a beat. So, let's meet them.
First up, you've got the manager. Think of them as the brain of the operation. They oversee everything, manage who's in the system, and decide the price of milk. Then there's the member. That's you, the customer who buys the milk. And the person connecting these two, that's the distributor. They're on the front lines every day with that handheld terminal making the sales happen. Each one has a totally different job, but they have to work together perfectly for this thing to actually work. Okay, now let's make this personal. Imagine you want to start buying milk this way. What do you have to do? How does it work from your side? Well, you're about to see it's designed to be super simple. So it all starts with a basic registration form. Easy enough. Once the manager checks it out and gives you the thumbs up, bam, you get your own smart card. After that, all you have to do is load some money onto it online, and you are literally good to go. The very next time you need milk, it's just a quick tap of the card. That's it. And here is something that's really important for the user. You always know what's going on. There's no guessing how much money you have left. You can check your balance whenever you want, either online or through a mobile app. It gives you total control, so you're never caught off guard, and you always know exactly when it's time to recharge. All right, so we've got the customer's side down. Now let's flip the camera around. What does this look like for the distributor, the person actually selling the milk every day? How does that little handheld machine really work? The whole process is built for 2 things, speed and accuracy. The distributor just taps the member's card, punches in how much milk they're buying, and the system handles everything else. It calculates the cost and deducts it from the balance, all in a split second. I mean, think about it. This is a huge time saver. No more counting change, no more fumbling with cash. It makes the whole line move so much faster. And that brings us to a really key part of the system. Pricing isn't fixed. The manager can actually change the price of milk whenever they need to. And because everything is connected, the second they make that change, it's updated on every single distributor's device instantly. It's super flexible and all controlled from one central point.
Okay, so we've met the players, we've seen the process, but what's actually making this all tick? What's the engine under the hood? It's time to get a little geeky and look at the tech that makes this whole thing possible.
2. That's it. That's the number of handheld terminals they need to run this system. And you might think, why 2? It's all about having a backup. This is so important. It means if one machine breaks down or just needs to be charged, the whole operation doesn't grind to a halt. Milk distribution just keeps on going. It's such a simple idea, but it's a brilliant way to make sure the system is always up and running. And pulling again right from that official document, we can see the exact software stack they're using. This isn't just some off-the-shelf app they downloaded. No, this is a whole ecosystem built from the ground up to be reliable and secure, from the back-end servers all the way to the app on a member's phone. So what does all that tech speak mean? Let's break it down real quick. The main program,
The one the manager uses to run things is built with a Microsoft framework called ASP.NET. All the important stuff, member info, transaction history, is kept safe in a big SQL Server database. And that app that members use to check their balance? That's built using Flutter, which is just a fancy way of saying it's a modern app that works great on both iPhones and Android phones. So, there you have it. We've just walked through an entire digital world built just for selling milk. It's efficient, it's clear for everyone involved, and it's secure. And that kind of makes you wonder, right? If this works so incredibly well for something like milk, what else could it be used for? Think about it. Local farmers markets, cafeterias on a college campus, maybe even community co-ops. What other everyday things that we buy could be totally transformed by a simple little smart card system like this?